Imagine the NFL, but every single play looks like it's trapped inside a music video. From the early 2000s, that slow motion football, it doesn't matter if you're Tom Brady, a rookie kicker, or the guy selling hot dogs in section 112. When the game slows down, everything becomes 10 times more dramatic and 100 times more ridiculous. Take a kickoff, for example. Normally, you just see a guy boot the ball down the field and everyone crashes into each other like human bowling pins, but in slow motion, suddenly, the kicker looks like a Greek statue, his leg extending forever, his face locked in an epic grimace, like he's solving advanced calculus while kicking. The ball doesn't just fly, it glides, rotating like the Earth itself, as if NASA should be tracking its orbit. Then comes the chaos. Players sprint down the field. But in slow motion, it doesn't look like sprinting. No, it looks like a herd of elephants doing synchronized swimming. Every step is exaggerated. Every arm swing looks like it should be narrated by David Attenborough. And here, we observe the wild linebacker in his natural habitat, moving with surprising grace despite weighing as much as a refrigerator. And let's not forget the collisions. In real time, it's bang, boom, tackle, over in seconds. In slow motion, oh, you're about to see every micro detail that no human brain should ever witness. Helmets shake like jello, sweat bursts off players like a sprinkler system, mouth guards fly out, spinning through the air like tiny UFOs on a mission to find new life on Mars. Even the referees get unintentionally epic. Normally, they're just running around, blowing whistles, trying not to get crushed. But in slow motion, suddenly, they look like Shakespearean actors. A ref throwing a penalty flag isn't just tossing fabricates, unleashing the scroll of destiny, fluttering through the stadium air, like a prophecy that will change the fate of mankind. But here's the craziest thing, slow motion also exposes the weirdest faces ever. You'd think NFL athletes always look cool, tough, heroic. Wrong. In slow motion, everyone looks like they just bit into a lemon while sneezing. Wide receivers with eyes bulging like cartoon frogs. Linemen with cheeks wobbling like pizza dough in a wind tunnel. Quarterbacks releasing a throw with the exact facial expression of someone about to sneeze in an elevator. And fans in the crowd? Oh, they don't escape either. That one guy with nachos? In slow motion, the cheese drips like a golden waterfall. Every chip breaking apart like a crumbling monument. The fan's face, mid-screen, stretches into something Picasso would have painted. Slow motion doesn't discriminate, it makes everyone look insane. So when people say NFL in slow motion looks epic, they're right. But also, it looks absurd. It looks cartoonish. It looks like a Marvel movie directed by someone who really loves Jell-O. And we're just getting started, because if you think slow motion makes football look wild, wait until you hear what happens when players start celebrating in it. Now, let's talk about celebrations. In real time, a touchdown dance is usually just a few seconds of glory spikes, shuffles, maybe a choreographed team move. But in slow motion? Oh no, this is no longer a dance. This is Broadway. This is opera. This is a 3-act performance with dramatic lighting and an orchestra swelling in the background. Picture a wide receiver spiking the ball. Normally it's just bam, ball hits the ground. But slowed down, the ball takes on the weight of an asteroid entering Earth's atmosphere. It bends the turf. Grass blades ripple like a shockwave. The crowd gasps in unison, and somewhere, Morgan Freeman is narrating, and thus, the football descended, reshaping the very foundation of the NFL. Then come the dances. Oh boy, in slow motion, the gritty is no longer a dance, it's a sacred ritual. Every tiny foot tap echoes through time. Each hand swing leaving trails of golden light like a medieval wizard casting spells. The Lambeau leap, forget a leap, it's a moon landing. The player's slow motion face screams both triumph and terror as he drifts into the arms of fans, who look like mythological creatures reaching for their chosen hero. And group celebrations, they turn into synchronized ballets. Imagine 11 to 150-pound men pretending to row an imaginary boat in slow motion. It's less touchdown party and more Viking saga. Every oar stroke feels like it should be accompanied by a dramatic drumbeat. Thunder crashing overhead by the time the boat reaches the end zone. You half expect Poseidon himself to appear, but the real comedy gold comes from the players who don't plan their celebrations. You know, the type dudes who just let raw emotion take over. A linebacker running around, arms flailing, screaming into the sky. In slow motion, this isn't intensity. It's interpretive dance. Every scream stretches into a 10-second opera note. Every arm swing looks like a toddler trying to fight off a bee. And spiking the football on the camera, in slow motion, it's basically a Michael Bay explosion. The ball bounces, wobbles, and slowly spins toward the lens like the Death Star about to explode. The player's face, contorted in primal joy, now looks like a Renaissance painting titled Man Yelling at Round Object. Even mistakes and celebrations look legendary in slow motion. A guy trying to do a flip, in real time, he just lands awkwardly. In slow motion, his body spins like a confused astronaut. His helmet floating midair as if gravity itself gave up. Teammates laugh, fans cheer, and the replay lives forever. So yes, touchdowns in slow motion aren't just highlights, they're symphonies. Every spike, dance, and awkward fail turns into something far bigger than football. It becomes pure cartoon opera. And if you think that's insane, just wait until we slow down the hits. Because when 300-pound men collide in slow motion, it looks less like football and more like a planet-shattering event. If football in real time looks like organized chaos, then football in slow motion looks like the apocalypse in HD. Every hit, every tackle, every bone-rattling collision becomes a full-on disaster movie scene. A linebacker sprinting toward a running back isn't just a chase anymore, it's a volcano erupting in human form. His helmet jiggles with each step, sweat launching off his face like he's leaking a sprinkler system, and his arms pump like pistons from a steam engine. Meanwhile, the running back clutches the ball with the desperation of a man trying to protect the last burrito on earth. And then, impact, in real time, it's a crunch in slow motion. It's a cosmic event. Helmets collide like the planets meeting in orbit, shockwaves rippling across the field, jerseys ripple, pads compress, and both players' faces contort into expressions you didn't even know the human face could make. One looks like a man sneezing, the other looks like a man trying to solve a Rubik's Cube underwater. Every little detail becomes visible. Spit flies from mouths in glittering arcs, as if the NFL secretly doubled as a water fountain commercial. Hair flutters in the air like shampoo ads gone wrong. Sometimes, you even see cleats leaving the turf entirely, dirt exploding upward like a volcano sneezing. And when players hit the ground, oh man, the ground isn't just the ground anymore. It becomes a trampoline of doom. Bodies bounce, turf pellets scatter like popcorn in a microwave, and limbs move in ways that make viewers scream, how is that even legal? Even the ball isn't safe. In real time, a fumble is chaos. In slow motion, it's pure comedy. The football slowly slips out of hands, wobbling like a drunk penguin. Linemen die for it, but in slow motion they don't look like athletes, they look like walruses belly flopping at SeaWorld. And let's not forget the sound. Sure, you don't actually hear it in the replay, but your brain feels it in anyway. Every hit in slow motion feels like it should be accompanied by a dramatic boom, or an orchestra going full dud-dun. If Michael Bay directed football, this is exactly what it would look like. Even the crowd reacts differently in slow motion. A group of fans gasping in real time is just noise. In slow motion, every mouth opens like a black hole. Every foam finger waves like a flag of destiny. Somewhere, a guy with face paint is frozen mid-yell, looking like a possessed opera singer. And just when you think it can't get crazier, a helmet pops off. In real time, it's concerning. In slow motion, it's majestic. The helmet spins through the air like a satellite, while the player's hair explodes outward like fireworks on the 4th of July. Slow motion doesn't just show football, it mythologizes it. Tackles don't look like sports, they look like gods colliding. And yet, even with all that drama, slow motion finds a way to make the weirdest, smallest moments look absolutely hilarious, which is where we're heading. Next, the sideline chaos. If tackles in slow motion look like epic battles between titans, the sideline in slow motion looks like pure cartoon chaos. Let's start with the coaches. In real time, they're yelling, waving clipboards, and throwing their headsets around like frustrated dads at a barbecue. But in slow motion, every scream becomes a tragic opera solo. Their mouths stretch wider than should be humanly possible. Their sweat flies in dramatic arcs, and their hand gestures look less like coaching signals and more like interpretive dance. From a modern art museum, then there's the Gatorade. Oh, the Gatorade. In slow motion, every bottle squirt looks like a neon fountain of sports-flavored destiny. Water splashes into players' mouths like they're being baptized by the gods of electrolytes. And when someone dumps a cooler over a coach's head, it's not just a celebration, it's a tsunami of glory. The ice cubes float in the air like frozen meteors. The coach's expression morphs from joy to regret in 0 point to seconds stretched into eternity, and you half expect a whale to leap out of the liquid. But the real MVPs of the sideline in slow motion, the mascots. Mascots already look insane in real-time, giant foam animals dancing around, like they just drank 12 cans of Red Bull. But in slow motion, it's nightmare fuel. Imagine a giant bird mascot flapping its wings, feathers flying everywhere, eyes frozen in a permanent cartoon stare. Each movement becomes exaggerated, every bounce of their oversized head wobbling like a balloon about to pop. And don't even get me started on cheerleaders. Normally, their routines are fast, sharp, and energetic. In slow motion, they look like they're summoning spirits. Pom-poms wave like glowing magical orbs. Hair moves in endless waves like shampoo commercials shot on Jupiter. And jumps transform into gravity-defying ballets. For a moment, it feels less like football and more like a Broadway remake of The Matrix. Then we have the accidental comedy, sideline players and staff caught at the wrong moment. A backup QB picking his nose. In slow motion, it's a National Geographic documentary, a lineman chugging water. Suddenly, it's a majestic waterfall commercial. Trainers rushing to help an injured player. They look like they're sprinting through molasses, arms flailing. Clipboards flying in the wind like ancient scrolls. And the absolute crown jewel of sideline slow motion, the flying Gatorade cup. Someone always knocks one over, and in real time it's a mess. But in slow motion, that paper cup drifts through the air like it's the main character in a Pixar movie. The liquid escapes in a perfect wave, droplets glistening under the stadium lights like diamonds before crashing onto the turf in the most unnecessarily epic way possible. So yeah, while the field is all about epic tackles and touchdowns, the sideline in slow motion is its own slapstick cartoon. Coaches, mascots, cheerleaders, and random staff become unwilling stars of a bizarre, slow-motion sitcom. And finally, to wrap this all up, we have to talk about the grand finale, when everything hits. Celebrations, sidelines, fans, mascots comes together in one giant, insane slow-motion symphony. By now, you've seen the epic tackles, the opera-style celebrations, and the sideline circus. But when slow motion captures everything at once, the hits, the dances, the mascots, the Gatorade, the fans, what you get is not football. No, what you get is pure cinematic madness. Imagine it. A quarterback launches a deep pass in real time. It's maybe a 3-second play, but in slow motion, this single throw becomes an entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. The ball spirals through the air like a comet, each rotation exaggerated, each wobble screaming, "I am destiny." The camera pans to the wide receiver running, his cheeks flapping like curtains in a hurricane, sweat droplets orbiting his head like tiny moons. Meanwhile, on the sideline, a coach is mid-rant. His clipboard flies into the air in exaggerated slow arcs, each page fluttering like an ancient prophecy being revealed. At the same time, a cheerleader does a backflip, suspended midair for what feels like 5 minutes. Pom-poms glowing like twin suns. A mascot trips over a bench, his foam head spinning through the frame like a lost planet. Back on the field, defenders close in. Their footsteps shake the earth, blades of grass exploding upward like fireworks. When they collide with the receiver, the world seems to stop. Helmets crash in perfect sync with the orchestra. That's playing in your head. The football squirts loose, and suddenly it's chaos. A lineman dives for the ball, belly flopping in slow motion like a walrus returning to the ocean. The ball bounces again, and then squirts free, flipping through the air. Fans rise to their feet, their jaws stretching cartoonishly wide, their nachos spilling like golden lava. A single Gatorade cup is knocked into the air at that exact moment, floating beside the football like a companion satellite, and then impact two. Another player smashes into the diving lineman, bodies bounce, mouth guards spin, turf pellets explode, and the ball squirts free again. Now it's less football and more pinball. At last, one lucky player scoops it up and runs. He celebrates with a dance, which of course is also in slow motion. Teammates join in, turning the end zone into a choreographed ballet, while the mascot, still stumbling from earlier, accidentally crashes into the group like a drunken cartoon sidekick. Everything, all at once, is happening in slow motion. The field, the sidelines, the fans, the chaos, the glory. It's overwhelming, it's absurd, it's beautiful, and it makes you realize the NFL in slow motion isn't just sports. It's art. It's a Renaissance painting brought to life. It's a Shakespeare play performed by refrigerators with muscles. It's an opera directed by Michael Bay. And maybe that's the true magic of slow motion. It takes the world's most brutal, ridiculous, chaotic sport and somehow makes it even more brutal, ridiculous, and chaotic. So next time you're watching an NFL replay, just remember, you're not just seeing football, you're watching the universe itself moving in glorious, cartoonish slow motion.